For a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Phyllis managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same with our lot. The thing is...
Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, look at the...
What a performance. The guys...
Goal that we ruled off. Quite stupid things like that.
Live from Style Space at the Supporters Club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! Here we go! Come on!
Come on! Yeah! Go!
Good evening and welcome back to West Ham United for our Highlights in Words show. Of course, you are joining me, Anton, and I'm going to be dissecting the game a little bit, but we do have a guest and he's not been on for a while, and it's none other than Jim Baker, my dad.
Hello,
Dad,
guys. I'm fine. Are you all right, Tom?
Yeah, not bad, Dad. Thanks very much for coming on. Dad, 2-1. I mean, I know we're going to dissect the game a little bit, but just briefly give me your kind of final thoughts on the game.
Well, on your show, your preview show, I predicted 2-2. So I thought we would score. But the scorers for Man City surprised me because it came from their defensive pack rather than their offensive pack. So, yeah, overall, I thought we played really well. I mean, considering when they've come to the London Stadium before now and beaten us 5-0, they're a wonderful team. So we have to accept that. And I thought we played brilliantly against them today, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Dad. I mean, listen, when we start to dissect the game a little bit, we'll talk about the starting lineups. I mean, we'll come on to Man City in a second. However, we did see that Randolph was stepping in for Fabianski. We hear a rumour is that Fabianski picked up a little bit of an injury in training. But Randolph stepped in between the sticks. I mean, what was your opinion on him? And what was your opinion on the fact that Fabianski wasn't starting?
I was disappointed. I saw it when Stell put up the first comment about Fabianski. I didn't know that, so I was a little bit concerned then. But I've not been one that's knocked Randolph. I've seen him play some good games. I've seen him play for international games as well. So I thought he would do a reasonable job for us. I know some fans not that totally keen or worried about that, but I thought he handled the game well today. I mean, he didn't have not really much to do in the early part of the game. Yeah, not really. No. I mean, we kind of blocked him out a bit.
Yeah, of course.
And he was good.
And then obviously we saw David Moyes switch to a back five by bringing Johnson in and resting up Jared Bowen. What was your thoughts? Listen, we know what Man City are capable of doing. Yeah. We know they're a top quality side. You know that they're going to walk the league this season. That's them got their 20th win on the trot in all competitions. However, we've rested Bowen and kind of brought Johnson into the lineup, putting 5 at the back. Do you think that was a negative move, a positive move? Is that something you would have done, or would that have encouraged City to attack? This is based upon the start of the game.
I think, well number one, we're looking at the team that's 18 games, on the run there. We've seen them play against us many times when they've just overrun us with their skill. So I think he had to be a little bit more cautious. I would understand him being a bit cautious going into that, starting off with, and just to see how it goes for the first part of the game. That's what I wasn't that surprised that he didn't put in. Don't get me wrong. I thought Bowen is a guy. But Bowen coming on, he just runs his heart out. I mean, he's an engine. He's up and down and everywhere. So he's very good. However, I think a little bit of cautiousness up front was needed against the team with the quality of Man City, for sure.
I mean, Dad, you've got to look at their Man City's strength and depth. I mean, people were saying that that's not their strongest 11, and then look at their bench. I mean, it's just got quality throughout, hasn't it?
I know, their bench could have been another full team playing. I mean, it's such a fantastic squad he's got there, really. But he can't play. I don't. Pep Guardiola can't really play anything other than offensive football. Attack. He's got to do that. What pleased me today, and I'm jumping ahead, was the fact that offensively today we defended well against these top players. Really,
yeah.
To only lose 2-1 against them is brilliant.
But I mean, Dad, I mean, I think I saw from I think we both saw from the offset that very quickly we weren't just going to sit back and invite them. We weren't going to respect them to the level we respected Liverpool.
No, I know. Yeah.
Where we invited them to play. You know, we knew that they were going to hold possession. However, they held a lot of possession in their own half. And when they did try and come forward, they couldn't really penetrate our defence. Our defence was holding up to them pretty much the whole game. Dawson, Diop, Creswell. Johnson was probably a little bit nervous. Soufal, I mean, thought Soufal had a great game today.
Soufal had a great game. Really brilliant game. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think we put up a really stout performance against them in the first half. I thought we were brilliant, to be honest. And you know, you look. I mean, our defensive setup now is really good. There's no question about that. I mean, offensively, going forward, when you've got the likes of when you look at their defense, and then you see Antonio up front, the way he was kind of really pushed them around a bit up there. It's brilliant to see that. He's a fantastic player.
Well, you know, it took a while. It took a while for Man City to break. But to be honest, I mean, the first half I thought both teams, you know, it was a kind of couple of chances both sides had either way throughout. But it took to the 30th minute and a piece of absolute brilliance from Kevin De Bruyne. And it really was a piece of brilliant football because Man City couldn't break West Ham down by playing football on the ground.
No, they couldn't. No.
So they had to resort to going for long balls.
Yeah.
And he pinged in this, 40, 50-yarder pass.
Yes, I know he did, yeah.
Dropped in over Diop and Dawson, right onto the head of Diaz, centre-half.
Yeah.
And he heads the ball into the back of the net. What was your thoughts then, Dad?
Well, man, I think you sum it up a little bit there with talking about De Bruyne, what he can do. You know, he's just a magical player. And... have I lost your signal there, Tony? You there?
No. We're here.
I thought, sorry, I'd lost it. I'd lost you there, but no. Yeah, I mean, he can unlock something, and not much we could do about that. But as you said, you summed it up there by having him there and being able to do that bit of magic. That was the one thing that undid us.
Yeah.
But as defensively, Cresswell, Diop, Dawson. You know, I mean, not everyone's cup of tea, but I mean, all the commentators, when they talk about Dawson, they think it's one of the best bits of business that Moyes ever did.
He really is.
He's been good.
Yeah, and Dad, you know, like I'm a big defender. I'm keen to watch. You're
a Winston Reid man.
yeah. But the thing is, though, what Dawson offers us is calm. Collective ability at the back. You know, he keeps everything really calm. He absolutely dominates that defence. And, you know, there's no ifs and buts about it. You think to yourself, could have one of Dawson or Diop done a little bit better for that ball in? But then you need to remind yourself you're talking about potentially one of the best players in the world who can just pinpoint a pass from anywhere. Yes, you think Dawson, if you had to really dissect it, you think Dawson and Diop should shout, one of them should pick up the other marker. However, you are talking about De Bruyne, like I said, one of the best players in the world, playing for one of the best teams in the world, who can just pinpoint a pass. And then City go 1-0 up. But that did at that point.
The only way, though, Tom, the only way that they would have stopped any of them would be by a foul. And the foul would have been in the penalty box. Somebody would have lost that. That's the only way they could have stopped that kind of brilliance that they have in their team. Yeah. And that would have yielded a penalty anyway.
Absolutely.
So I think really that you have to give it to City for being able to produce something magical like that.
We could have then sat back and really let them open up the floodgates, but we really didn't. And I remember I was doing a watch along, Dad, and I was watching the game, and when I was talking, I was just really impressed with West Ham's performance and also our discipline in defending, because several times, when depending on the view that you saw, we kept all the lines throughout the game. The midfield were structured, the defence was structured, and Lingard and Antonio and Fornals, fair play to him as well, were all giving us an outlet to try and drive forward and create a chance. And bang on, I think it was it just before half time? Yeah. I'm just trying to find the exact minute when this happened. Yeah, the 43rd minute, perfect time to try and come in with an equalizer. Aguero loses the ball from an interception, another interception from West Ham. And Lingard fed Pablo Fornals, who found Soufal free in the right of the box, and put the ball across the goal to Lingard, only for Lingard hit the ball heading towards the goal, and just to make sure, Antonio tapped the ball into the back of net. West Ham goal 1-1. We've drawn level. What was your thoughts then?
Oh, do you know what my thoughts were? I thought the build-up play from West Ham was magical. I mean, you look at it sometimes, you think to yourself, the long ball. You mentioned the long ball there from Man City. Our build-up play today, our passing and our movement to get to goal-scoring chance was absolutely fantastic today. I thought that. I don't know if everyone agrees with that. I don't know. Most probably that won't be the agreement thing that I would like. But I must say, some of the moves. You look at some of the moves we made today. It was fluent, really lovely movement of play, finding the players and then moving into positions. I thought it was encouraging to see that.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
encouraging.
And I think it is. I mean, and that's the thing, though, Dad. Like, we need to remember that again. It's you respecting what we're playing against, right? There's no ifs or buts about it. Guardiola's even speaking out and he's saying, "Listen, yeah, I've got 700 million. I've got this money, yes, but he still needs to go and buy these players and bring this, solidity together and solidify this team as a unit. And they are a unit. But what I will say is, in particular in the first half performance, Dad, West Ham turned up and never sat back and never allowed City to play. And I think even you could hear in the commentators, they were saying maybe West Ham have found something here to try and break this team down.
Yeah.
And you've got to give credit where credit's due in West Ham's performance.
And we actually did do it. We did actually break them down. If you think about it, that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we only lost 2 goals against them. I mean, that's brilliantly defensively, but also speaks well that we scored against them. I mean, they hadn't conceded a goal there at home for a long time.
December the 15th, it was actually.
A long time.
Actually, that's in the Premier League, Dad. They haven't conceded in the Premier League since December the 15th. A shutout lasting 587 minutes in total, which is just crazy. But
and the goal was creativity from us. Something that we love seeing in West Ham team. It wasn't just the big kick forward and the big centre forward hustling. And even though Antonio did do what he's up there for, the creativity that caused that goal was brilliant.
And it was all really kind of, you've got to give credit again where credit's due with Lingard, what he offers us, which is something fresh, new. His desire to get the ball, keep the ball, create. He'll drop deep if he needs to collect the ball and then he'll push on. But what he does is he allows, I think Antonio took a while to warm up to the game, but he did warm up into the game and he really did offer us a threat moving forward. And I think for this game, I'm disappointed, and we're going to go in the second half in a minute. I am disappointed because I think we were just that close, Dad, to at least walking away with a point.
Yeah, I thought we were.
But I feel really proud, if I'm being honest, by that performance today.
Yeah, because in the past time we've seen us crash out to them so many times,
and by a lot of goals.
Home and away. They've demolished us. So in this instance, they did not do that today. And he had, as you rightly said at the beginning, the best subs bench you could ever imagine for a Premier League team. And they still, even if he'd have put on whoever he wanted to put on, I don't think they would have run away with anything more than a 2-1 victory today.
Oh, absolutely not.
And we didn't have. You can't turn around and say that Fabianski saved us because he wasn't on the pitch, obviously, or that Randolph saved us because that wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. We just defended very well. Cresswell. I think Cresswell's had a brilliant season this season so far. And Dawson. In fact, the defense has been really good.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, though, we didn't really sit back. The second half, there was talk about would we make a substitution. I think Ben Johnson, he got a bit of a yellow card in the first half, and he was a little bit nervous in the first half. Yeah. If you had to really pick a player who was struggling, maybe it would have been Johnson in the first half. But for me, I didn't expect Moyes to make a substitution going into the second half. Would you have?
No, no, not at all. I don't think so. No, I don't. I think you would have been destroying Johnson's confidence and stuff there. No, I think what he did, jumping forward, which I know we haven't done that yet, but look into what he did do in the end and who he did bring on. I think that was the right thing to do. It was as if, well, we've got a little bit to go here now. Why don't we go and try and get a draw, or in effect, try and win the game?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I know that's going a bit forward in the second half. I know.
No, No. Well, you know, we've got into the second half, and you know, the game didn't. It kind of started off the way we, you know, it just continued the way it was really in the half, and a couple of points during the second half. It was actually end to end for a solid 5 minutes. City would attack, West Ham would break, we would attack, City would attack, and it was kind of vice versa for a little while. But then, unfortunately for West Ham, it came into the 65th minute, I think it was. Mahrez collects the ball down the wing. He does his typical step overs, twists in, twists out, crosses the ball into the unmarked John Stones, who puts the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-1 to Manchester City. What was your thoughts then, Dad?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, normally speaking, I was thinking with John Stones, I think, is he going to blast this over the top? But in actual fact, he took that goal really well for a centre-back. And then that says it all. Both goals scored by centre-backs from Man City. So, yeah, I think John Stones is playing good football at this moment in time, and he did deliver a good goal there. Yeah.
No, he did, absolutely. But again, we didn't sit back as much. You know, if you think you got to think about the Antonio chance as well. He hit the post, he hit the outside of the post, the ball gets crossed in, he tries to take a touch, it bounces up and he hits it on the half volley and it hits the outside of the post. And Dad, we had chances, we did, and I have to walk away proud from this game. I have to, because we came up and not many people gave West Ham a chance.
No,
today. Nobody did, and we were in it. We were in this game, absolutely. We were absolutely in this game completely. I mean, look there from the image. You can see how Soufal was so disappointed at the end of the game, and that's it, because he was. It had that feeling of so much effort into that game to just walk away with two pieces of really brilliant football from Man City that really were that was really it. That, you know, I know they played well. I know it was a good footballing game. It was a good neutral game.
It was a good footballing game. You've summed it up there. A good footballing game from two good footballing sides today. We stepped up, as you've said it. We stepped up to the plate today to play football, and we played. And I feel myself that was a lot of people thought perhaps he would go flat five at the back, defend it, but he didn't today. I mean, we went for that game. I think we decided that we were going to take them on. And in the first half, it was end-to-end stuff. Even the commentary people were saying that. Oh, it's like a good game to watch, end-to-end. Yeah, I never expected that. I actually thought I thought actually we might get overrun by them today. That was never going to happen today. Never.
No. And I think, you know, listen, I know you were watching the preview last night when we had the City fan on. I know Seth went onto Man City fan TV. We had the guy on this morning, and you know, get the confidence from City fans, but they genuinely thought they were going to turn us over really easy. And I think you're probably going to see a lot of comments going, do you know what? Massive respect to West Ham for what they did today, and it is, and it has to be. Moyes, you know, you hear Moyes talk at the end of these games, and you hear sometimes what he says, and you don't actually understand it. But if he says what he says at the end of today's game, you fully understand that. Yeah, the players turned up today, gave it a chance, gave it a shot, and we were just beaten by two pieces of brilliance today. And you know what? We have to, if we want to compete at that level, maybe we need to shut up shop with those two bits of issues. Why, you know, De Bruyne has found the player could have marked him a little bit better, but that, again, like we're saying, we're talking about players that are the highest level. I mean, Mahrez is not a regular starter for City, and De Bruyne is just back into the side, and that's what they can do. Do you know? Yeah, that's what they're capable of doing.
What do you think when the two substitution made by Moyes? What do you think when he brought on?
Well, I feel like when we were, I mean, it was the 65th minute when obviously City got their goal to make it 2-1. People were maybe calling for a substitution being made at that point. I wasn't so necessarily sure if that needed to happen then. However, I don't agree with being 2-1 down away from home. We wait till the 82nd minute, I think it was, to make the sub. I think we needed to maybe make a sub a little bit earlier, because I felt like the game was there for West Ham to either walk away with a point or just do something a little bit different. And I think when you're 2-1 down, you don't do the same. You've got to just go for it. And at that point, Dad, I would have preferred to have been beaten 3-1, really going for it. Yeah. Really going for it, really putting an effort on there, really pressing them. Because today, I've got to give credit where credit's due. I thought Fornal's done. I thought he worked really, really hard today.
He did well.
He covered so much ground. I thought, you know, I actually think he was probably him and Declan Rice really stood out for me today, even more so than Thomas Souček, who as of late has been our total Stonewall top-notch midfielder.
Soufal had a wonderful game.
Soufal had a wonderful game. He literally kept everyone quiet down that side.
He did.
I mean, you do look at him and you think, I'm worried to go near him.
He really showed that wing-back situation. He was getting up there and attacking on the wing. And I thought that was that's a good side to him as well, even though he can defend as Czech defenders are doing with with grit, Viking spirit type thing,
If you're watching, get your comments in. Do you think Moyes made the subs too late? I think we know the answers to that. So get your comments in and let me know your thoughts on the fact that the substitutions were particularly late. I mean, let's look at some of the stats, Dad, for the game. I'm just going to pull that off there. Hold on a minute. How do I get that off? I'm trying to find it. There it is there. So general play, 63% to Man City to West Ham's 37%. I mean, we expect City to have a lot of possession, but I tell you what, Dad, I mean, that's not bad against this top level side. There's some more stats I've got for you guys coming up here. As you know, the game finished 2-1. Total shots though, Man City had 10 to West Ham's 9. City had 3 shots on targets to West Ham's 3. They had 5 block shots, we had 2. We hit the post once. And then this is an interesting defensively, they had 11 tackles, we had 13. We had 17 clearances, they had 10, and we had 20 interceptions to City's 14. So it wasn't one-sided. It
was not a one-sided game. No, of course it wasn't. No, and I think that could try from the first half to the second half. I think when Moyes decided to go offensively, like we said, it was a little bit late to bring them on. But if that had been a little bit sooner, I think the game was there to certainly get a draw, I think. To give players like that come on, like Bowen and Ben Rama, a short period of time to show their skill, it's not really very fair to them. Having that little bit of extra time for creativity so they can do something what Manchester City were doing with De Bruyne. I know we're not necessarily comparing De Bruyne with Ben Rama or something like that, but Ben Rama and Bona, they do have the ability to actually get through. And I reckon if they'd have had that extra 15 minutes or so, it could have been a different result.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I mean, there's loads of comments in here as well. So we'll quickly drive through some of them before we head. Loads of people in here. I'm going to ask a question to the people who are watching, though. Do you think West Ham respected Man City today, or do you think West Ham tried to go a little bit toe-to-toe? Dad, what's your thoughts?
I think we went toe-to-toe. I think I can't see how it could be described as not going toe-to-toe. We did. Even the commentators that were watching the game, they were commentating on the game, rather, they were saying it was, like you had described it, a good game for a neutral to watch, end-to-end stuff. It was. Yep. And so, I mean, we didn't sit back.
Yeah, Hughes won the same. We would have won that game if we'd have played Ben Rama instead of Johnson. I'm not so sure, but, I get the point. I absolutely get it. Neil T makes a good point. It's the happiest I've been considering we've lost. And do you know what? I think he summed it up for me. I've not left that game today feeling downhearted. I'm disappointed, but I've actually left it more confidently than what I did before. Of course, still...
That's the best team lineup we've put up against City, bearing in mind the pulverising that they've had against us over the past few years. That was the best performance I think we've put up against them for a long time.
There you go, Dad. There's a compliment for you. A Baker who is the voice of reason from Still. Huge one. Every time we went on the attack in the first half.
Oh, Still, give me those comments. Boost my ego up a bit, Still. I've been on for a long while. I'm quite nervous being on tonight, guys.
Every time we went on the attack in the first half, Johnson gave it away. Every time it broke our momentum. Yeah, he maybe did, mate, but he kind of got a little bit better in the second half. Arjun, Grewal, Soufal was amazing today, especially in the first half. Absolutely. Still saying didn't have a problem with 5 at the back, but when we went 2-1 down, Moyes should have made positive changes then. I mean, 65 minutes.
I would agree with Still on that. That's what we've just been saying. Just that making those changes a bit earlier to give them a chance. You can't expect somebody, can you really? Let's be honest, to come on with 5 minutes to go and produce magic. They've got the number one. They've all the only warm up that they've done is running up and down the touchline. So they need to get on just to get into the game a little bit and then try and produce the magic.
For Sheezy saying, I think we missed up Bon and Fabianski's presence today. However, Diop and Randolph played well. I mean, listen, there's no ifs and buts about it. We miss Bon and we miss Fabianski, but I really genuinely don't. I can't put a huge amount of fault in them. Of course, you can turn around and you can say, "Oh, there, look, Granddad's there. Say hi to Granddad."
Hello, Freddie.
Well, let me finish this and then we'll come back on, okay? No, I need to do it. I'm on just now, okay? I'll be back 2 minutes. You can, okay? So I think we missed Ogbonna and Fabianski's presence today, but I'm not so sure if it was the real reason why we did. You're just saying another fantastic performance from Soufal. Thou shall not pass is his motto. 100%. It's not. It's really not.
Soufal, I'd agree with that comment entirely. I think Soufal today was brilliant. I mean, he's got so much strength and character there. He's tackling, but he's not fouling, and then he's getting down the wing, and causing havoc down the wing as a wing back. Brilliant.
Sorry, he's just heading out now. Foshizi saying we should have played like this against Liverpool. We'd have won, in my opinion. Do you know what, Foshizi? I mean, listen, Liverpool turned up that day. I mean, I don't know if we would have changed it up, what would have happened against Liverpool. The Liverpool performance was a better Liverpool performance than it was a Man City performance today. No matter what West Ham turned up, I would have actually worried about the Liverpool because they did turn up on that day, and that was quite possibly Liverpool's best performance this season. Foshizi saying Soufal was a monster. He was immense today, and he's been a contender for Ham of the Year. Absolutely. For a monster, we have the best right back we've had in a long time. I love him. That's from Jake. Soufal, everyone's massive amount of confidence for Soufal. Absolutely.
Just he played brilliant work today. Yeah.
While we're doing this and getting I'll get the banner up and ask you who you would be your man of the match. Normally, I wouldn't really massively do it when we lose a game, but I'm going to do it today because I think it's justified why we could even say that. Let's have a look and see what everyone else is saying. You're just saying the first goal wasn't the fault of Dawson or Diop. Randolph should have come for it. I think if you had to really pick a problem, I think the ball it could have maybe been dealt with better by Randolph if you really had to dissect it. However, the ball was at close range and it was a powerful header coming from an unbelievable cross. Where are we?
Difficult for Randolph just to step in like that. He's hardly had any games when you think about it. So to step in against the top team in the Premier League just now, you've got to give him credit for whatever he did in the game. You give him credit for it. He didn't make that many mistakes today. If it made any at all, maybe a little bit of suspect on that one, but not
too much.
No.
Foshizi saying he's just so proud of the team and the coaching staff. Charlie Everett, who's a Man City fan. Hi guys, I thought a draw would have been the fairest of results today. Great side, and I massively appreciate that, and that's the way I feel. Like I genuinely feel we should have maybe got a point today.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are. Foshizi saying we normally lose 4-5-0 against City and accept it. We have a great account of ourselves today. We absolutely do. Loads of comments in here. So many to get through. Where are we? You're just saying again, if we'd have played Benrahma instead of Johnson, we would have won. It shows, Lee is saying it shows we can compete with the best and we could have won, but I'm still a happy hammer. Great game. You agree with that, Dad?
Yeah, I agree totally. 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Kevin is saying the board must back David Moyes, doing a fantastic job. He is, Dad, isn't he? Really?
Yeah. I can't mess with him now. I mean, he's getting praise everywhere at the moment, and he's won us over. I think a little bit. He has.
Huge. I don't want you to like. We can lose games and walk away. Okay, like. I'm going to give you a prime example of, I think it was the first season of London Stadium or the second season of London Stadium, and we played Swansea and we won the game 1-0. And I walked out of that game feeling the most deflated I have ever felt. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen West Ham give to a team. And I felt so deflated from 3 points because I knew that wasn't a turning stage. That was actually the turning stage for West Ham getting worse. Where I've looked at today's game and West Ham have gave a good account for ourselves. We could have got something out of the game. We didn't know, but look at the position we're in. We're fourth for a reason because we've turned up week in and week out. So we're having a consistent performance, and that's why I'm walking away with a positive mindset. Are
we thinking that we're starting to play the West Ham way? The way that I was brought up to think.
Listen, I was just going to say you're probably the only one that can see as witness the West Ham way. I mean, still sitting here, Moyes respected Man City, but the team on the pitch didn't. I don't know. Still, I don't know if I agree with that. To be honest, I don't think we massively respected them today like we did against Liverpool. You know?
I think individual players would, Tone. I mean, there's no question about it. I think some of our players will be looking at some of that squad today, and you can't really give them anything but respect.
Keep going. Oh, he's just gone. Oh no, he's not. He's back on.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, I think the players must give respect to a team like that. I mean, they've been absolutely brilliant this year. There must be that little bit, like you said it yourself. Even with someone like Johnson there, he'd be in awe of some of the players that he's playing opposite. So they are going to get a little bit nervous of that, and they are going to give a bit of how can I say respect to the opposition. There's no harm in doing that.
Yeah.
I think you can be over respectful. Like, for example, as a manager, like the comments that have been made there, like Still made a valid comment there regarding if we'd have put our offensive side on a little bit earlier rather than too late in the day, then we might have shown them too much respect there managerial wise. I'm not knocking Moyes. I'm just saying that if they came on and gave them 20 minutes, 15 minutes,
a bit longer, yeah,
15 minutes. 4 minutes injury time, 19 minutes. One of them could have produced something. Bowen could have gone through on his own and done something. Ben Rama could have opened them up. But they didn't have enough time.
Well, English Artie saying, I'm proud of this team, to be honest. What I saw out there, we're not far off with playing with the bigger teams. We are 3 players away, which will come in the summer. And you can't help but think that the recruitment that Moyes has done, Dad, is really kind of backs up that comment. We are only 3 players away. And if we can bring in those 3 players away appointed by David Moyes, then it can really make the difference. James Bong's agreeing. I'm well proud of this team. Neil T, if Fornals can up his game a bit in front of goal, he'll be a top player in my opinion. Amin is saying, as usual, we've seen hard work but not genius. Stephen Baptiste is agreeing with what I said earlier on. Joan, so too often wish he'd do hours of shooting practice, and that's related to Fornals. You can't fault Moyes. He's kept us up twice in producing this level of performances. Top man. Still saying, no, Jim, we're not going to see the West Ham way. Lyle would have allowed his fair players to show their worth. Scott Randall, Pep had nice words to say about us today. The commentators also said we were unlucky not to get a draw. Absolutely, completely agree with you. Kevin Bering, to say we were disappointing just show you how far we have come, and that's really. I mean, there's loads of comments in there that we could go through, Dad, but we'd be here all night if we do that. So yeah, I mean, sum it up, Dad. Sum up your thoughts on the game today and what we do moving forward.
Well, having seen Man City, as I said. As we've all seen Man City play, not just this season, but in past seasons, and particularly against us, even I would be giving them respect if I was managing the team. So to me, the sum up was, I loved to see that we weren't afraid of them. I love the fact that we started to play a little bit of fluent football, which paid off. There's no question about that. We weren't just relying totally on Antonio up front, which we've had to do against the top team in Premier League just now. We started to play good football and playing football against them, not running scared. And then and obviously in defensive wise, you know, we had to pull on our defense. Of course we did today. We had to, but not as much as some people would have thought against City. We were able to play a balanced game going forward, playing good football, but defending when we needed to do so. You can't, you can't go against the brilliance of a couple of the players, like you've said, the De Bruynes and these people, and you can't they're different. They can do something.
I think the key thing now is how West Ham bounce back. We've got 9 days now before we play our next game, which is Leeds United at home. So it's how we bounce back from this. And if we can bounce back, then we definitely are, you know, that's the key element now. Is we've turned up today, we haven't got the result. It's really unfortunate. We haven't got a point at least, and it's now how we turn up against and perform against Leeds. But anyway, Dad, thanks for joining me for the highlights and words video, the review video. Check it out. Keep the comments coming in once we go offline. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and Dad, yeah, you'll be back on a little bit more now, won't you, Dad?
Well, I don't know. Only if the guys want me on. That's the thing. Yeah, I need to have to see what the comments say.
Yeah. Oh, they're all happy with that. So, listen, West Ham. I mean, I'm walking away proud today. I'm a proud West Ham fan. I'm proud every week. I think you're the same, Dad, aren't you?
Yeah.
We always have a general chin wag after the game, and we kind of discuss what we say and what we think is going to happen moving forward. But this season's been a nice season, and it's helped. It's absolutely helped, hasn't it? This season helped with the current circumstances.
Yeah, of course it has. Yeah. And to be honest, as I say, as you well know, Tony, a couple of times that I've been, perhaps the guys don't know, but a couple of times I've been to Man City on the away games and been treated really well there. I was just surprised. A lot of people would find that. A guy like me I went on a couple of occasions to the hospitality at Man City and wondered what I would think as soon as I opened my mouth with my accent. And as soon as I opened up my mouth with my accent, the guys would say to me, what are you doing here? Total respect. So I do like the way I was treated by Manchester on a few times I've been there.
I can't fault. I've been down to City Stadium, the stadium with Dad a few times. However, Dad did do hospitality quite a few times, and I always wanted to stand in the stands. So I would try and wave to him from the distance when he was up there with his prawn sandwiches, and I was down with the Carlsberg getting chucked everywhere. And there was some good times. I mean, I think
that's a good time.
Although not many great victories. I was at the FA Cup quarterfinal. I don't think you went to that one, though, but you had been to a few others, of course, as well. So, Words and Stell's wanting you on his show, and then Words and Picture said someone needs to talk sense on your show, Stell. Jim would be a great addition.
Oh yeah, Stell, I'd love to come on your show. I'd love to.
Thanks, Jim and Anton. Great stuff. Come back soon, Dad. Everyone's just delighted you're here. More Jim, please. Stell saying, Jim, mate, you're a breath of fresh air. Well, at least he's a breath of fresh air, and he's in here. Stell, where are you, mate? Where have you been today? He's been cooking his.
Stell will be back. Still,
Yeah,
it's the show tomorrow night, remember. We'll be on the show tomorrow.
For Sheezy, mate, listen, I don't take it to heart, mate. I know you genuinely love me, mate, so don't worry. Stephen Baptiste is saying, see you next show, Jim. Dad, anyway, thanks for joining me. This has been West Ham Irons United. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, keep the comments coming in. He's been my dad. I've been Anton. Stick with West Ham, and we'll turn up against Leeds for the next game. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.